We'd like to thank the community for coming out for the 5 September community forums. We had over 4,500 people attend, and we gathered 3,500 comments. And we were overwhelmed by the comments in terms of the quantity. So it's taken us a little bit longer to go through, but we have read each comment, whether it was written down, spoken verbally, or videotaped at the community forums. And so we divided these comments into 3 categories. One was city's present day challenges. And we heard loud and clear that the number one challenge that our Detroiters are facing are public safety issues in terms of police and fire and EMS response time. And so we're working diligently to improve those services. We also heard that citizens have a strong desire to have the people that are protecting and serving them move back into the community. And so the mayor will be announcing in the first quarter an initiative to target our public safety officers back into our neighborhoods. We're very excited about that. We also heard about the effects of vacant and abandoned structures and how they diminish quality of life and diminish the quality of our neighborhoods. And residents have said we want more demolition faster where appropriate. We also then heard that what I like to call the compassionate side of our citizens, where they said, well, why don't we use some of these housing stock, the structures that can be rehabbed, to solve our homeless population's challenges and our vulnerable population. And let's connect the abandonment of structures and the fact that we have a segment of our population that doesn't have homes, and marry those two together. So we are looking at how do we cultivate that type of program. Then we move forward to where we call future services, and we had a number of comments. Transportation is heavy on a lot of our citizens' minds. So we want to look at how are we going to improve our current transportation system, our DDOT system, but then also looking at our light rail and what that can do. We heard from citizens that said they wanted energy efficient companies. They wanted the city to be energy efficient, leaner, greener. There's a segment of our population that's very excited about urban agriculture, so we're looking at how do we develop a urban agricultural policy and or what's necessary in terms of our zoning and ordinance policies that need to be changed. And so we're working along with the City Planning Commission and the City Council and the Administration and Law Department to come up with that kind of policy. And the final thing that we heard about was who will get to decide what the Detroit Works project is at the end, and how our citizens can be engaged in that final selection process. And so I want to share with everybody, we want to hear from people, our stakeholders, our potential residents, and potential business owners also, in terms of what should this plan look like. So we're gathering all that data in terms of what we heard from our citizens. We also have a technical team who has amassed a policy audit that's over 1,000 pages and looked at many components of the city. The mayor's come out and said that he would like to have a neighborhood, draft of a neighborhood plan the first quarter. So we will have that information. And then at the end of the second quarter, we will have the draft of the major Detroit Works project. And so there'll be neighborhoods as just one component of 9, but obviously a very significant component in which we feel that the community wants to be engaged in. So we're going to kick off in January another set of neighborhood meetings. We hope that they're smaller, but we'll publish the schedule, and those will be broken into 3 segments. One will be geographic based, so the city is currently divided into 10 clusters through our planning and development department. We're going to host a meeting in each cluster, and then we're going to have a number of topical meetings such as transportation, urban agriculture, public safety, and so those will be citywide. And then we're also going to have what we call our special interest groups. Our youth, we want to meet them in a separate meeting. We want to have a conversation with our more mature senior citizen population, and our environmental groups that are championing a lot of environmental efforts in the city. We want to have a conversation with them as well. So that's the combination of the next 40 meetings that we will be having from January through March.
Okay.
We want citizens to get engaged by sharing their stories, sharing their initiatives, sharing their programs, and all of the things that are going on in their community that are having a positive impact in their neighborhood. We want to hear about the community gardens, the after-school clubs, the tutoring sessions. We want to hear about the Boys Scout locals that are happening in people's basements, and share stories, pictures, videos, so that we know what's going on in the community, so that we can help uplift that as a part of this process. So we're asking our citizens to submit this information at our Detroit Works Project website. It's www.detroitworksproject.com, so that we can help develop the future of the city of Detroit. We may take some of these ideas and help duplicate them. They may serve as role models to some of our other communities, but we want to hear from our citizens.